All right, you can go ahead and begin, Dr. Sun.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to today's Spending for Liberty Advisory Committee meeting. This is the last meeting for FY26 SAAC. I just want to thank everybody, represent the administration, but also personally for great participation, a lot of nice information and very insightful discussion. And also thanks for the report that's pulling together. That's really have a lot of really good suggestions that should inform us for the government to develop its both short-term and long-term fiscal plans there. So with that, I want to hand it over to Todd, who's the vice chair, and I also want to thank him for being instrumental in helping pull a team and craft the draft report that's in front of folks for vote today. Thank you. And Todd, you want to start?
Yep. Thanks, Holly, and welcome everybody to our last meeting of the year. Finally going to sprint across the finish line here again. But special thanks to Ellen and Barbara. If you're not involved closely at the end of this game, where the report is actually coming together and being edited and being double checked, you don't see how much work that Ellen and Barbara are doing. So I just want to personally thank them. We'd never finish without your help. At least the quality certainly wouldn't be there. But thank you so much for that, and everybody else. I just think this year's dive has been particularly interesting and challenging, and certainly not clear. And that's kind of the message of certainly our executive summary as well. That we're really making our best guess as to what's going to happen, but we know that there are so many issues that are out there at the federal, state, and local level that will have major impact going forward, any of which could seriously undermine the county's financial situation. So thanks to everybody. Thanks to getting us to the finish line. We're going to vote on the document momentarily, but if there are any other thoughts or comments, I'd solicit them now. Then let's go ahead and cast our votes. Who's going to call the vote, Holly?
I think Paul can do that.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, one quick thing is, Todd, I think usually we want to make sure reserve the ability to do like typo formatting, minor thing like that.
Yes.
After the vote there, just to make sure that's, because if we find a typo, we want to keep it there. Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Holly. You're exactly right. So, okay, Paul, go right ahead.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. We'll start with you, Todd.
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Clinch?
Yes.
Ellen Flynn-Giles? She wasn't on a few minutes ago. Is she on now?
She's in, yeah.
Barbara Glenn, you said she's out. Steve Hunt?
Yes.
Dr. Arani, you said he's out. Jimmy Jennings?
Yes.
Barbara Lawson? John McKins?
Yes.
Christy Simon? She was Christy?
Christy Simon is muted. Christy, can you hear us?
Christy, if you're on a telephone, can you press *6 to unmute yourself?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I apologize. I vote yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And then Josh Zucker?
Yes.
And that's everybody.
Alan was here 1 minute ago.
Was she able to get back on?
Yeah, let me check.
Holly, I have not seen her log in. I was keeping an eye out.
She was here early.
We Could you just message me her number and I can reach out and try to troubleshoot to get her back on?
So Alan, we are voting. Are you able to join in?
I can't. I've tried the dial-in. I've tried panel's password. I've tried the attendee password.
We can hear her now. Can she just say yes?
Hold up. Can you hear us? And maybe
We can hear Ellen. You can just ask her to
Okay.
vote because
So
we can hear from
Paul, do you want
phone.
to call the vote? Alan is here.
Paul,
Sure.
you want to call for Ellen's vote?
Ellen Flynn Giles?
Yes.
Okay. And
Thank you, Alan.
all 9 present have voted.
And I think Dr. Iran is not able to join us because he's traveling, but he did email to both Todd and myself saying that he's voting yes for the draft presented the other day, circulated the other day. Thank you.
Well, that actually wraps us up, but I do want to just come back for a moment. As we talked about in our very first meeting, we were hoping to, or planning at that point to try to put together a simple bullet point summary for people in the study, which we did not do, but I forwarded last night just talking points memo for all of the members, and I wanted to just ask for any comment on that and ask if it's in its current form, it does the trick for you, or if we should be trying to distribute that to you in a more formal, even trifold document. So I just want to put that out there and ask for any thoughts in that regard, because that is kind of that's the core of our story. And I'm hoping that all of the members and participants in the committee would have that as a reference point for themselves when they do have the opportunity to have conversations with people in the community. So and any thoughts there, or is that sufficient as it is? Go ahead, Barbara.
I first of all want to thank you for doing it. And yes, I think that they're excellent talking points that you can walk right through a process with any group that you talk to with those talking points, and then make your recommendations or list the recommendations. So I'm grateful for your leadership. And while I'm on at this point, I'd also like to say that this particular 2 months has been, I think, quite rich. I think we've had more conversation and questioning than we have in some recent past years. And so I'm grateful to have participated and get to know some new people too. So thank you to everybody.
Thank you. I think I saw a hand earlier, but it would disappeared. So if anybody need to talk, please just unmute yourself. And I just put on the screen what Todd circulated. This is some of the interesting fact from the report that he produced in the summary manner, and suggesting people, if you have a chance there, keep to yourself and feel free to use that to communicate with the public for some of basic facts regarding the county's economy and the budget there. So thank you very much for working on that. That's hope communication side, because as we started beginning of the committee meeting this year, that one of the enhancement we want to have is make it digestible, focused, and help people understand some of the key facts about the county and what are the drivers of its fiscal planning and the future sustainability. So thank you. Any other comments?
Go ahead.
My hand was actually raised earlier and I put it back down. I just wanted to say thank you again. I think these talking points.
Angela, do you want to say something? Angela Blade, I think I hear you say something.
Oh, yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say my hand was raised earlier, and I just appreciate the talking points so much. I would say everything, but I think Barbara caught it all for me, and it really was a great. It's always a good experience, but this was indeed a little bit more active and informative. So I thank everyone, and I love the talking points.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you for the feedback. Yeah.
Yeah, Holly, the only other thing I would say is I love this document. Like everybody else, I don't know about everybody else, but it seems like everybody who has spoken said they really like it. So the only thing I would say is if you go to page 3, where you
The
get to the
document
demographic
or
of the
oh,
document, because there's a
not
demographic
to
page
the talking points, right?
to the talking point, the one that's on screen right now.
Oh, okay. Down.
We might want to consider, I would take away the word key points from there because it's really speaking to county demographics. And then I would create maybe a separate section called key takeaways. And maybe that would be the area where you would put, 3 to 4 things you're really trying to hammer home, because this document is kind of the why, and, maybe just kind of a section to tie it all together. You know what I mean?
Help me out. What can you want to take away the header key points? And
Yeah, because no other section has that header. So I would.
Oh yeah, and I know what you mean. The
Right,
reason
and then-
was yeah.
And then maybe if you want to tie it all together, I mean, I don't know, you're already at 3 pages. Maybe you don't want to start a 4th page, but maybe if you wanted to, or we wanted to have key takeaways and just hit, 3 to 4 things you really want to hammer home. But again, I don't know if we want to stretch this out too far, but that would just be a consideration.
I don't know that I would necessarily pull any of these points to the head of the class, so to speak. The one thing that you'll all note in this document is that call it the talking points document, is that we don't talk about our recommendations. This is just kind of our findings, not our recommendations. And I think that's important, and it's done that way for a reason, and that is that different people may read this and come away with different recommendations. So I didn't want to push people to any other conclusion.
Gotcha.
To our conclusion, I wanted them to be able to read and understand this, and really the purpose of it for all of us is to have the opportunity to, I guess, educate the general public on what we have found and what we see, where we are and where we're going fiscally as a county. And as we all know, we've talked about through this process, lots and lots of people don't really know exactly where the county really is. And I think, I learned so much this year, both in our group and in the AFFO group. And I think it just gives us the opportunity to be able to talk more effectively. And I think that the more educated the public is, the more conducive the public might be to some fiscal conservatism or caution, at least looking forward. So that's where I'm trying to go with it.
No, that makes sense, Todd. No, you put it that way. You're trying to lead the witness, but you're not trying to make the witness. You're not trying to make the witness's mind up for them. So no, that it makes sense now. So I'm good.
Oh, okay, that's great. Thanks, Steve. So does anybody want it in any other form other than this? Do we want to publish it in a trifold that can be in the libraries? Do we want to have it as a trifold we can distribute if we do give talks or presentations? Any thoughts?
I think it would be good to have. I think it would be good to have available for conversations. I don't know that we need to put it anywhere.
Yeah.
But I think it definitely should be something that if whoever is the keeper of the document and say, I'm going to speak in front of organization XYZ, I could say, hey, Holly, can you get me, 30 copies of this thing so I can hand out when I'm talking to them, that sort of thing.
Holly, can you publish it on the county website?
Ooh.
Oh, the summary?
We're just.
Yeah, I don't see why not, because that we will put the final report there. If people agree on that, we could put put this document there as well.
I mentioned the trifold. Might I just suggest that if there's anything graphically, what I would say is try to take it down to a front and back sheet. The 2 charts you have, the charts can be the first one can be shrunken, but because it's text, it can be a nice handout if it's 2-sided, and someone can just download it, not have to staple it. You make it 2-sided. But you don't have to. It's just an idea.
I hope somebody can hear Angela better than I could. It was kind of garbled, but Anybody else?
Yeah, she was saying try to get it down to 2 pages front and back, and maybe get rid of the charts because they're taking up a good chunk of space. I would say maybe you could reduce the charts down so that they're there, but you know they're not just, as she said, shrink the charts.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
basically maybe shrink the charts so we get everything down to. Thank you, Angela. She said shrink the charts so that maybe we can get everything on 2 pages front to back.
And yeah, that would be terrific if we can get it down to 2. I really don't want to delete the charts. If I had to pick 2 charts that would be most helpful to our cause, those would be the 2. People don't understand the budget, and the first, pictograph is really helpful, and the demographics is shocking to most people when you look at it. And I think pictures are better than words. It's a lot easier for most people to digest.
Yeah, we can work on the formatting to see
Yep.
whether it's possible to squeeze into 2 page. If we can, without losing key points there, we can do that. But I think the graph is probably is important to include.
Holly, maybe I can work. I'll work with Jimmy again if need be to nail this down.
Yeah, we can work together on that.
Yep,
there.
yep.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
the only other thing, just as any of you see opportunities to make presentations, or anyone on the committee to make a presentation to a community group, large or small, it doesn't matter. Let me know or let Holly know, and we'll be pulling together a kind of a canned briefing, so we're ready to go. If there's an opportunity to make a presentation, we'll be happy to do that, and maybe reach out to anyone else in the smaller group to make a presentation. If you're interested in doing that, please let one of us know, so it gets spread around a little bit, because I know there are already some requests from the community to hear from us, and I want to make sure we're responsive to those requests.
And also one last note is that just FYI that for the procedure, next step there is since the report is already voted on, and we'll just do one more like diligent check to make sure there's no typo or like a formatting weird stuff on that there, and then we'll be ready for delivery to the county executive. It was due to the executive by March 1st, so I would say more likely either Friday or Monday, and then they will and then after that there it's also on the agenda of county council's monthly meeting, which is on March 10th in the morning. So people are more than welcome to watch, and we're also going to ask a couple of members try to participate in the presentation to the council so that we can communicate on the key takeaways from the committee for FY 2026. So any further discussion?
All right. Thank you, everybody. That's a wrap. Thanks for everybody's help. It's been a great pleasure to work with everyone this year. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. And also want to take opportunity to thank people who have been supporting the committee, both the staff in my office and also from our IT department. So, and also all those speakers. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.